As well. It was 10 years ago, the 4th of July, 2002, when a gunman went into LAX intent on killing people, and in fact, he did. 2 people. 4 others were wounded. Today, as Chris Blatchford reports, a memorial was held to honor those caught up in that terrorist attack.
Avi Hen has a smile on his face when he greets friends and well-wishers here at LAX. But that smile covers a sadness that still rips at his heart. His 25-year-old daughter, Victoria, 10 years ago today, was shot and killed by a terrorist as she worked as a ticket agent at El Al Airlines.
The same like it happened yesterday for me. My stomach is always full with it. I miss my daughter a lot.
This memorial to Victoria Hen now stands not far from the El Al counter where she died. That same 4th of July, a Chatsworth man named Yakov Amanov, the father of 8 children, was also killed. 4 others suffered stab or gunshot wounds. But it was Victoria, with a smile and kindness that was described as electrifying, that El Al manager Klaus Hackel remembers the most.
There are many occasions that I and many others will always remember of how remarkable and special this young lady was.
Hackel was there on this day when Hesham Mohammed Hedayet opened fire on innocent people and slashed at them with a knife before an El Al guard shot him dead. Counter-terrorism sources now identify him as a Muslim extremist with ties to the Egyptian Jihad.
This is a terror attack. Somebody sent him to do it, and the public doesn't know that.
For months after the attack, the FBI had downplayed any terrorist involvement. But the 6 people who showed up here today to commemorate the dead warned that was a mistake.
Aggression directed at Jews never ends at Jews.
And for Avi Hen, his wife and son, it's important to them that people know that there is a connection between what happened here 10 years ago and Islamic terrorism. At LAX, Chris Blatchford, Fox 11 News.
The USS Iowa was officially commissioned today as a new floating museum in the Port of Los Angeles.
I hereby place the
KTLA 5 News.
This July 4th holiday also marks the anniversary of a tragedy at LAX. It was 10 years ago today that an Egyptian national opened fire at the El Al Airlines check-in counter at the Tom Bradley terminal, killing 2 people and wounding 4 others. Chris Burrows now with a look back on this day of remembrance.
10 years ago, the terror attack at LAX sparked concern in all of us. It was happening on the West Coast. And while we were concerned about what was happening next, 2 local families lost their loved ones. Today was about remembering their loss, now a decade later on this very holiday.
Those flags were put there shortly after September 11th.
He was mad about U.S. and Marine Corps flags being flown from the apartment above his. Investigators say he was mad at America when Hesham Mohammed Hedayet left a Read the Quran bumper sticker on his door, heading off to LAX armed with a Glock semi-automatic pistol, 9mm handgun, and a hunting knife.
Confusion, the fear.
At the terminal, chaos as the Irvine man who had moved from Egypt 10 years earlier headed to the El Al counter and killed 2 people and wounded 4 others before security shot and killed him.
I really have to commend the security guards at El Al who interceded in this matter. There's also a would-be traveler who jumped on him as well, that if they hadn't acted quickly and taken him down, there could have been many more injuries.
Let me introduce to you from the Israeli consulate.
Today, remembering the 2 people killed on that horrible day, including 25-year-old ticket agent Vicky Hen, cut down in the prime of her life.
Her beauty and kindness was recognized and respected, and being bilingual left every person who met her with pleasant memories before the 14-hour flight to the Holy Land.
We lost the daughter. She's
You know, the daughter is daughter. It doesn't mean if she's beautiful, if she's good or not. This is my daughter, and I lost her.
Cars was found yesterday in a parking structure at...
There is really no following up on this story. The gunman is dead, so there's no legal proceedings. All that does live on is the pain and memories for the families of those lost. Their appreciation clear today that at a place as busy as LAX, people paused for even just a moment on this anniversary to pay their respects. In Los Angeles, Chris Burrows, KTLA 5 News.
10 years ago today. Still to come here tonight, parking fines and even the price to get into the LA's.
Remembering an act of terror that happened at LAX 10 years ago. I'm Miriam Hernandez. Ahead, what family members of the victims want you to know.
Celebrating independence by honoring a battleship. New at 5, along with the 4th of July holiday, today also marks a somber anniversary. It was 10 years ago when a terrorist gunman opened fire at LA International Airport. Eyewitness News reporter Miriam Hernandez reports his target was the El Al airline terminal.
In the Bradley terminal at LAX today, passengers bustle in their tight security, watched on camera and by armed officers. It is the new normal in the wake of the 9/11 attacks and the shooting that happened at the El Al counter on the 4th of July 10 years ago.
It's very hard, and nobody gonna understand unless if he lost somebody. I'm telling you, the life has changed to all of us.
Vicky Hen, a ticket agent for the Israeli Airlines, was killed along with a traveler, 46-year-old Yaakov Aminov, a father of 8. 4 others were wounded before an El Al air marshal shot 41-year-old Heshem Mohammed Hedayet, an Egyptian national living in Irvine. An FBI investigation found that Hedayet's limo business was failing, that his wife had left him, and the 4th of July was his birthday. Yet a year later, after an international investigation, the act was determined to fit the definition of terrorism. According to the FBI, Hedayet wanted to die as a martyr. Today, Hen's family and their supporters believe there is a cover-up, that the FBI knew more about Hedayet but failed to act.
The government, they knew about him. He's a terrorist guy, and they never stop him.
Today, the FBI responds, saying other theories were considered and researched. The investigation did not reveal the involvement of a state-sponsored group or co-conspirators. The finding distresses the mourners who believe that people in Los Angeles are in denial about the terror threat.
I lost my daughter, and for me it's the same exactly like all of the people over there in 9/11. So I want the people to know about this. This is a terror attack, and nobody safe here.
There are many occasions that I and many others will always remember of how remarkable and special this young lady was.
We were crying day and night until now. We miss Vicky a lot.
Miriam Hernandez, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Well, still ahead, a surprising story about lifeguards. They're at the beach to help save lives.
Full list on our website at cbsla.com.
Well, it was 10 years ago today that a man opened fire at the El Al check-in counter at LAX, killing 2 people. Today, the victims' families were there to remember the lives that were lost. CBS 2's Randy Page tells us those wounds are hard to heal.
Another bouquet of flowers is placed next to a memorial plaque near the El Al ticket counter at LAX. They have come here to grieve and to remember the terrorist attack that claimed the life of 25-year-old Victoria Hen and a diamond importer named Yaakov Aminov. It happened on July 4th, 2002 at 11:23 a.m. A lone gunman walked up to the El Al ticket counter and started shooting. Victoria Hen was checking in passengers for a flight to Israel. Yaakov Aminov had just dropped off a passenger for the flight when an Egyptian-American, Heshem Mohammed Hedayet, walked into the terminal carrying 2 semi-automatic Glock handguns and began firing. The 25-year-old El Al ticket agent and Aminov, a father of 8, were both shot and killed. 4 others were wounded before an El Al security guard shot and killed the terrorist.
So I want the public to know about this. It was a terror attack, and we are not safe.
Victoria Hen's father spoke today about the daughter he lost.
Yeah, Vicky, she was a beautiful lady. She was loving the life, loving me like a father. My heart and her heart is the one piece.
I and many others will always remember of how remarkable and special this young lady was.
Klaus Hackel was El Al Airlines station chief on the day of the attack. He says the gunman arrived for his deadly rampage after most passengers had made their way to the gate.
So we were lucky that we did not lose more people, because it could have been a bloodbath to enormous extent.
This morning at 11:23 a.m., precisely 10 years after the attack that claimed the life of his daughter, Avi Hen, his wife, Victoria's mother, and their only surviving son led the group of friends, family, and dignitaries in a moment of silence.
I was headed to the driving range. I was at Ralph's.
When I lost my daughter, I lost my life, I lost my family. And she was everything for me, and she's not here.
A father with a broken heart joins a community of others who will not forget what happened here 10 years ago today. At LAX, Randy Page, CBS 2 News.